Childlike faith. God cannot be realized without childlike faith. The mother says to her child, pointing to a boy, "He is your elder brother." And the child at once believes that the boy is 100% his brother. Again, the mother says that a bogey man lives in a certain room. And the child believes 100% that the bogey man lives in the room. God bestows His grace on the devotee who has this faith of a child. God cannot be realized by the mind steeped in worldliness. Doctor. To the devotees. It is not right, however, to make the cow yield milk by feeding her all sorts of things. One of my cows was fed that way. I drank its milk and the result was that I became seriously ill. At first I was at a loss to know the cause. After much inquiry I found out that the cow had been given the wrong things to eat. I was in a great fix. I had to go to Lucknow for a change to get rid of the illness. I spent 12,000 rupees. Roars of laughter. It is very difficult always to find out the precise relationship between cause and effect. A child of 7 months, in a wealthy family, had an attack of whooping cough. I was called in for consultation. Even after much effort I could not find out the cause of the illness. At last I learnt that the child had been given the milk of an ass that had been drenched in the rain. Quote, all laugh. Master. To the devotees. How strange. It is like saying that a man has an acid stomach because he passed in his coach under a tamarind tree. Quote, all laugh. Doctor. With a smile. Let me tell you another. The captain of a ship had a bad headache. After consultation, the doctors on board had a blister applied to the side of the boat. Quote, all laugh. Master. To the doctor. For the seekers of God the constant company of holy men is necessary. The disease of worldly people has become chronic. As it were, they should carry out the instruction of holy men. What will they gain by merely listening to their advice? They must not only take the prescribed medicine, but also follow a strict diet. Diet is important. Doctor. Yes. It is the diet, more than anything else, that causes the cure. Master. There are 3 classes of physicians. Superior, mediocre, and inferior. The inferior physician feels the patient's pulse, merely asks him to take medicine, and then goes away. He doesn't bother to find out whether the patient has followed his directions. The mediocre physician gently tries to persuade the patient to take the medicine. He says, look here, how can you get well without medicine? Take the medicine, my dear. I am preparing it with my own hands. But the superior physician follows a different method. If he finds the patient stubbornly refusing to swallow the medicine, he presses the patient's chest with his knee and forces the medicine down his throat. Doctor. There is a form of treatment that does not require the physician to press the patient's chest with his knee. For instance, homeopathy. Master. There is no fear if a good physician presses the patient's chest with his knee.